from the rest. Get ready to embrace the truth as we bring you the most hard-hitting stories and unveil the real facts. Welcome to Hard Facts.
I am Mary Ann O'Connor, and this is Hard Facts, where we separate truth from fiction. We're passionate about the hard-hitting stories that matter. Get ready to challenge your perception and discover the real world. Let's dive deep into the issues that affect our communities, revealing the untold stories and giving you a voice. No sensationalism, no bias, just raw, unadulterated truth. I am committed to delivering news without compromise. Hard facts as we know them, when we know them, and how they affect you. Every Monday through to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. This will be your most authentic news experience starting now on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 2025. The biggest conversations are happening on Hard Facts.
If the model of Rebolo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled.
Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
And he don't put my mood for that. Whenever people are clapping, he's praising singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
I mean, he did not do any remarkable thing in your state, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, the citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform.
If NBS is turning out very fake data to us, because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Mary Ann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
It is the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station, and we are broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. A very rainy day. It was raining in the FCT. I think I brought the rain all the way back to Lagos, and it started raining all through the night into this morning. Guess what? I couldn't even go to the gym, and I hate starting my week without getting ready for the brand new week. Anyway, we're grateful to be alive. I hope you had an incredible weekend. Here are the big stories that are making the big weekend. Welcome to the show. It's Hard Facts. My name is Mariana Kun. From now till 6 p.m., we'll make sure that we talk about good governance, the current affairs of the nation, and of course, we prioritize what is in the interest of the average Nigerian person. Of course, we're here to inform, entertain, and educate you, but most importantly, inform and educate you. Entertainment comes whenever. But where we are as a country, we need to be very, very informed and properly educated about these issues so we know what our rights and our responsibilities are as a people, and we can no longer hide our head in the sand and play the ostrich. No, not under my watch. Anyway, we'll start off with the big three stories, or rather the big weekend stories. And because it's Monday, we're going to look at what's happening around Lagos in terms of movement, our roads and infrastructure, traffic lights, policing, traffic wardens. Everyone's going to be under scrutiny today on checkpoint. And then, of course, on the big hard facts today, we're talking about party politics. All through the week, we're looking at the PDP, the ADC, the APC, the SDP that has cracked into two now. I'm hoping to get the national chairman to come speak with me, Shehu Musa Garaba, within the week. But today we start with the PDP as we talk about if the PDP has any strategy for 2027, or are they just trying to get by? Can they be that formidable force aside from the ADC? Or are we going to see a merger, yet another, just before the elections in 2027? My guest will be joining me on the 5 o'clock hour. But first, let's look at the big stories that made the weekend into the new week. Welcome to the big weekend.
The big weekend.
ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big Three Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
I just knew something was off. I left my glasses somewhere. I'm going to have to look for it so I can see well. Anyway, welcome to the big weekend. And these are the stories from the big weekend. Let's start with the Niger State governor. He seems to be in the news most of the time for the wrong reasons. The last time we heard from Bago, he was criticizing people with dreadlocks and calling them criminals. And that if you are found with dreadlocks in Niger State, you would be arrested. Say what, sir? And here we are today. He has over the weekend Badeggi FM was banned and shut down, rather, we hear that he had threatened the radio station because someone was on the radio station challenging his so-called farmer governor status and what he's doing agriculturally in Niger State. Someone was on the radio challenging him, of course, giving fact as to why they think that his farmer governor status isn't the true picture of what's happening in Niger State. And of course, how did he respond? Trying to shut down the radio station. Well, the Daily Trust newspaper here says that Badeggi FM, northern broadcasters are threatening to boycott the governor. And you know what that means, of course. If a governor is being boycotted, it means that he gets no press time, no airtime, nothing. Maybe just his state radio that's going to be carrying his stories. Touch one of us, you touch all of us. That's what it is, yeah? Well, the Arewa Broadcasting Media Practitioners Forum have threatened to boycott all official activities of the Niger State government if it continues to undermine the freedom of the press. The forum's chairman, Alhaji Yelwa, made this threats in a statement he signed after a meeting with the chief executive officer of Badeggi FM in Minna. Bago, the governor, had last week Friday directed the State Commissioner of Police and Commissioner of Homeland Security to seal the independent media outlet, revoke its license, and profile the owner. I'm going to get my glasses so I can see well, guys. The government also moved to demolish the station, a move that triggered a backlash, a huge one. In a statement issued by the ABMF, Alhaji Yelwa was quoted to say that the station CEO, Mohammed Shuaibu Badeggi, confirmed that the radio is fully operational in spite of the governor's illegal orders. He also accused him of deploying the use of state machinery to further harass the station and stop it from carrying out its constitutionally guaranteed duties. I just want to send out an SOS to the governor. Is everything all right, sir? Because I'm imagining how if every time we criticize Governor Sanwo-Olu, I mean, do you know how many radio stations are in Lagos? And he shuts all of us down. That would be a shame. Not just on you, but on democracy. So, Governor Umar Bago, you used to be a lawmaker, and I'm hoping that you also understand the laws that you make and that they also carry some weight. And you understand that you are governing in a democratic setting and not in some sort of, I don't know, authoritarian rule. No, sir, it's a democracy. And if you have any grievances, you have to go through the proper routes, just as you would ask your people to go through the proper routes if they have any issues with how you govern or how you rule, depending on what it is that you do actually in Niger State. But I'll move away from that. A conversation I will have later in the year, of course, because there was a report that came out saying that journalists have been more oppressed under the Tinubu administration more than any other administration going forward. And I'm going to have a group of journalists in the studio to have that conversation with me. Promises to be a great one. I'm hoping it's Thursday or Wednesday that we have that conversation. But let's move away from that. We're still looking at the big weekend stories. Don't forget, we're live. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Daily Trust newspaper here says, hardship, middle class Nigerians now begging to survive. And that's from Chimamanda. I heard Joyce do a great detailed conversation on that. And I just like to say, there is no middle class. The middle class disappeared right after the Jonathan administration. It disappeared. You have the rich, the very rich, and the very poor. There's a huge gulf. And so I'm wondering what middle class is Chimamanda referring to? Because I hear that even the people who used to eat from the hands of politicians are also begging. Well, Chimamanda Adichie, who we all know, popular Nigerian author, has decried the worsening economic condition in the country. She spoke on Channels Television and lamented on how ongoing hardship has reduced the middle class into beggars. I don't think it's just the middle class. The middle class now, obviously, is on the same line or on the same level with the poor. So, like I said, there's a huge gulf between the very rich and the very poor. What I earn at the end of the month cannot pay my bills. It cannot fuel my car for more than a week. It cannot pay my house rent. It does nothing. Has no value. So there is no middle class. It's either you're very rich or you're very poor. But is there any hope for those who support the hope renewed agenda or renewed hope agenda? Is there really hope? All right, here's another story. This time it's from the Vanguard newspaper. Over the weekend, there's been several. Do you remember the guest that we had when we were having the NNPCL conversation? Who suggested that if he were to be Ojulari, who is his friend, by the way, he'd resign? He mentioned something about the fact that this guy is from the private sector and, is not a politician per se. And dealing with the NNPCL, one has to be very careful. And so there have been reports that Ojulari might be resigning from the NNPCL. Don't forget, there have been calls for Ojulari to show up at the Senate to defend what's happening in the NNPCL. I think he did come, but then he had to ask for time to go back and do some more findings. Well, NNPC GCEO Ojulari reports to work amid the resignation controversy. Group Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company, Bayo Ojulari, today has reported to his duty post amid rumor of his resignation. He was reported to have thrown in the towel late last week. Today, he reported to work at about 9:35 a.m., putting to rest claims and counterclaims of his resignation. But because we live in Nigeria, and I'm not one to be a propagandist or whatever, could it be that there was some iota of truth to it? With the NNPCL, we start with something that seems like the truth, but it is a rumor. And then they come out to try to tell us that it's not true. And then months down the line, it becomes true, but then it was ill thought out. You know how the NNPCL comes with those things. Could Bayo have chewed more than he can actually swallow? Because you see, working with the NNPCL can be a whole plate of hot beans. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. He has resumed work so that you will not say, But let's talk about the bigger elephant in the room, which is the Lagos International Airport. Yes. Festus Keyamo, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, was on Channels Television yesterday night. I sat through that interview because I wanted to hear his excuse for 712 billion naira that we do not have. Emphasis on we do not have for an airport upgrade. Well, the ADC is attacking the federal government, saying that this is a misplaced priority. The African Democratic Congress has criticized Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration over its plan to spend 712 billion naira in renovating the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. In a statement yesterday they issued, Bolaji Abdullahi, who is the publicity secretary of the party, described the expenditure as extravagant and misplaced. I'll leave it there. 712 billion naira. Not 1 billion. 712 billion naira. But here's Festus Keyamo speaking to that issue. And this video is courtesy of Channels Television. I want you to take a close watch or listen. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can watch the video on our live stream. Here's what he has to say about why we need to spend that much money. Don't forget, the middle class, which is non-existent, is begging. The cost of living is rising high. We no longer have farm produce. We have to import GMOs, and all of a sudden, what's his name? Is now Bill Gates is now not afraid to climb Okada in Lagos, and is flying everywhere and feeling happy with himself. And we don't think that something is wrong with us if we're not prioritizing this cost of living crisis, the economic hardship, but we're prioritizing our airports. Oh, maybe I'm jumping the gun. Let's listen to Festus Keyamo.
The Obasanjo military government. I mean, I want to ask a rhetorical question. You are seated here. You travel. Are you proud of that airport? The roof, they are leaking. The roof is, so many parts of the roof are leaking. The place is totally decrepit. Some are smelling. You see people even selling Indomie. As you are coming, you see all kinds of, kiosks and workshops there. You see old tires on the ground. You see collapsing ceilings. You see carousels are not working. The carousel, because their parts are not in the market again. Those lifts and carousels, those things that bring out the bags. When they were put there, they were modern equipments at that time, but their parts have gone out of the market since. The place is totally decrepit, and this has been going on for so many years. Many governments have been thinking of, making sure that they bring it up to world standard. Not only that, Sheon, let me also explain something else. As it is today, you cannot land in Lagos and try to connect an international flight maybe to Ghana. Maybe you take Airpeace, because Airpeace can connect you from Lagos, now, and then from Lagos you take another Airpeace to Ghana. So, so that is what they call, a hub, a proper hub. Lagos is not a hub. But that was the plan from 1977 when it was designed, and then 79 when it was commissioned. You cannot process one passenger from one terminal to the other terminal. So all of that has stunted the growth of aviation in Nigeria over the years. So Mr. President thought that this was a proper time to address this issue once and for all. All
right, Lagos, I'm going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue from where he stopped, okay? Stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Mom's love is pure. Mom's special jollof puts a smile on your face. Mom's yummy fries cheers you up. Mom's tasty stew nourishes the family. Golden Terra oil, tasty. Golden Terra oil, nourishing. Golden Terra oil, Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra oil helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same, whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Unstoppable you, fueling your vitality the whole day through. Embrace each challenge with renewed might. With Super Ultra performance takes flight.
With
20 essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. One Supermalt multivitamin after breakfast every day keeps you going.
That special secret that awakens taste buds. Mouth-watering wonder with awesome aroma. Terra seasoning cubes.
Terra Seasoning Cube turns your meals into a masterpiece.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste. Hey, come cook with Terra cubes. Come cook with Terra.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
From one terminal to the other terminal. So all of that has stunted the growth of aviation in Nigeria over the years. So Mr. President thought that this was a proper time to address this issue once and for all, especially as this government promised Nigeria major infrastructural upgrades across Nigeria from, of course, the savings we're having now from the removal of subsidies and the floating of the Naira. And aviation stands atop the agenda of Mr. President. The first thing he did before I talked to you, because you must give me time to explain it.
Absolutely.
The first thing Mr. President did in aviation, when we came, you remember we had a backlog of more than $900 million, owed foreign airlines, trapped funds. Many of them threatened to stop flying to Nigeria unless their debts are paid. Mr. President cleared all of that within 6 months. Just go to IATA website, just Google IATA and their comments about Nigeria. You see, they were full of praise for Nigeria. So the confidence came back, to Nigeria. Foreign airlines and investors, the confidence came back that Nigeria, of course, was also rising in liquidity. Now, what we are trying to do in Lagos now is to make Lagos, one, a very modern international airport, and two, to make it a proper hub, to begin at least to compete with other hubs in Africa. The Obasanjo military government, to Nigeria, foreign airlines and investors, the confidence came back that Nigeria, of course, was also rising in liquidity. Now, what we are trying to do in Lagos now is to make Lagos, one, a very modern international airport, and two, to make it a proper hub, to begin at least to compete with other hubs in Africa.
So we're supposed to compete with other hubs in Africa. But how are you building a hub when 85%, if not more, of the citizens of that country are hungry, have no access to good food, have no access to good hospitals, the doctors are going on strike, the nurses are going on strike, the teachers in the schools. By the way, the Ministry of Education has come up with a novel idea to get people to teach from abroad, to teach in Nigerian universities online with their curriculum. But the schools that you want to teach, they don't have free internet in their classrooms. They don't have upgraded laboratories or whatever that you need. The infrastructure is whack, but you want to allow for lecturers to teach these same students from abroad. What about the lecturers that are in the universities? Have you created an enabling environment for them to thrive? Oh no, let's leave that. Let's just bring people from abroad who can teach, and then you pay them. Should we be prioritizing this airport? Because it's not a renovation, they want to break it down and rebuild. A cesspit, obviously. Lagos Calabar corridor, just 30 kilometers, and they did all kinds of press, blah, blah, blah. It's there. Cesspit. First, they said it was going to be public-private partnership. Now we're borrowing monies to fix that. Okay, let's move away from that and open up the phone lines. By the way, the Tigers, or the Tigresses, have won their tournament. Should they expect a big pay package? Just as an aside, should they? 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. That's for the ladies. If you're in the diaspora and you're listening to us on WhatsApp, Join the conversation 08095975805. You can call if you're in the diaspora. But if you are listening from Nigeria, you could just send us a WhatsApp message. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Post your comments on our live stream. You could also join the conversation on X. Use the hashtag #HardFacts. Do you agree with Festus Keyamo's attempt at explaining why 712 billion naira should be sunk into the Lagos International Airport? Hello.
Madam, good afternoon.
Yes.
How are you today?
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm a Joe. I'm calling from a Solar Kingdom.
Yeah.
Miriam, I don't know you, but I think you will live long for just speaking the truth this afternoon. People are dying in hunger. It's everywhere, and these people are just making lavish money here and there. But then if I talk now, you just cut me off. This is international radio, so just don't worry. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you for calling, and thank you for respecting the fact that we're on national radio and you can't just, flip out on it. Hello.
Hi, Marianne. This is Kenny. Good evening.
Hello, Kenny.
Yes. I don't agree with Festus Keyamo. Just everything is wrong with it. Let me even start from the rudiments. A flight within the country costs at least 110,000.
Who told
naira.
you? Sorry, there's no list like that. The list is 170.
Oh, you see, the last time I traveled was in March. So you can within the country. So can you see 170? Okay. At the time I traveled with Ibom Air, it was 110. So can you imagine who will surrender their paycheck? I'm talking about the regular Nigerians. To go just one way or not even two ways. That's one. And how many people are even paid that much in a month? Now, the other one I want to say, an international flight is at least, and the last time I talked, someone that traveled outside, which was not me, was about 1 million naira one way. Who can afford that in Nigeria? So that project they're embarking upon is for those who have a whole ton of money to spend and to spare. It is wrong. Fortunately, yes, I can travel if I want to, but that's not my priority. There's so many people suffering in Nigeria. Listen, Mr. President has an opportunity to get things right. They need to feed the masses. They need to do things that will put money in the pockets of the masses.
Kenny. I have to take other calls. Thank you so much. Interesting point that you've made. Because I asked an open question. What should be our priority today? Should we be prioritizing this airport? And I listed the many things that we're dealing with. Insecurity, the killing of our farmers, the sacking of those areas, the fact that there's food shortage. And we're not screaming about it, but then we're saying, open the gates and let hell come in, like GMOs. And I love what Joyce's guest was talking about, because this is something that I've continued to tinker on. That how come we're not screaming about GMOs? And it's been here for a while. If not that people on social media have begun to talk about it. We're saying open the floodgates, let GMOs come in. But we're not prioritizing the food that we used to grow in this country. And I thought to myself, if we're continuously saying there's a hand of Esau in the so-called farmer headers crisis in the northeast and the bandits situation in the northwest, who's benefiting? Could it be the same guys who are paying people to come and lobby so that GMOs can continue to flourish? Could they have a hand in it? It's just a question. But then let's leave the propaganda for propagandists. The average person can't feed. The average person can't fly. The average person is begging. There is no middle class. Should we be prioritizing an airport that will cost us 712 billion naira? Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maria.
Yes.
Good evening. My name is Ambrose.
Go ahead, Ambrose.
Marian, sometimes when some people even call, they forget that you are Nigerian and you are part of the system. when they begin to tell us all the tissues of life, see what you are talking about now, Miriam, that your salary cannot even take you anywhere. Miriam, the other time I told you I have 3 children in the university. Apart from the expenses, I have a drug that I must use every month, and it costs me nothing less than 50,000 naira.
Wow.
Now they are telling us that we should just allow this man to continue. Should we just keep quiet and fold our arms and allow this suffering again for another 6 years? These are the questions that I keep asking. I have not been able to get answer. Look at the project. It's like somebody said in another radio station. He said it's like you are trying to beautify the outside when the inside is rotting. What has the airport got to do with Nigerians that are poor, that can't afford to feed, Nigerians that can't afford to buy drugs, Nigerians that can't get light, Nigerians that their children can't go to good schools? These are some of the questions we keep on asking, and they say we should allow the man to continue. Continue for what? What exactly is he continuing? Is it for the poverty to continue or for Nigerians to be impoverished? Miriam, God
Thank you,
bless
Ambrose. And I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this every month. 50,000 is a lot of money. And then you have kids that you have to pay fees, and you have to buy books and handouts and pay NEPA bill. If you're in band, you. And you still have to pay lawma to come and pack your trash. Sometimes they don't come. You still have to buy food. I went to buy yam. I know there's new yam, and I wanted to buy yam because I don't eat yam very often, but I like it when it's new yam because it's soft and it's nicer. I just wanted to, try it out because I like to eat fried yam every now and again, even though I'm not allowed to eat too much of it. One was 8,000. 8,000. As a poor man now, I was thinking, what can I now buy with 8,000? Shey, I will not leave this yam and go. Because I'm counting my pennies. Imagine a person who's got 4 children and he buys 1 tuber of yam for 8,000. They've not thought about the other things they're going to use to cook the Boss, we want to build an airport. Hello. Sorry about that. If that was you, please call me back. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon, Marianne.
Good afternoon. You're not a woman. Why are you calling the female line, sir? Please, do not do that again. Thank you and God bless. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Marianne. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Marianne, when I listened to Joy program this afternoon, I feel like crying. That's where are we? Did we have another country again? This is Nigeria, and people are saying that this government are doing good. You want to build an airport of 712 billion, and people are dying of hunger. In my area here, children no more go to school anymore because they can't afford the private school. There is no public school around my area here. It's the private school, and the money is too much. Many of the parents now, they have withdrawn their children and they are now going to lesson. And when it is time for them to sit for like maybe junior WAEC or senior WAEC, they will now just go and pay for external candidates for them to go in. Even when you talk about tariff of NEPA around this area, if you come to my area in the night, there's light. But on this, in the compound, people will off all their security light because of they are trying to save their energy. Try to save their energy because there's no money. I just feel like crying. I just pray God will judge this government.
Okay, take it easy. I don't think it's just about this government. I think it's something it's a trajectory that's continued because these guys have realized that all they need to do is be in the right, alliances, align with the right persons, do what needs to be done, even if it means borrowing monies to splurge so they can get that office. And once they do, it's payday. Because no one's going to ask questions. No one's going to do anything. All you're going to do is call the radio station and scream about it for a bit. And then if you try to go out for a protest, we clamp down on them. We destroy their morale. And they'll just, go with their tails behind their backs and, back into their tents. And so they keep doing it. So I'm not in any way saying that the Tinubu administration is one way or the other without sin. I'm saying that it is a trajectory that has built for some time now. That's all you need to do is be friends with the guys in Aso Rock or in government in what they call the government house here in Lagos or wherever. But where do we go from here? Because it's getting worse. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Marianne. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, okay. This is Asuko calling. I've been trying. I mean, this is my first time of reaching you.
Oh, first time caller. Lovely.
Not like I'm a first time caller, but at least reaching out to you. It's been all call drop because of your numerous callers.
Sorry.
So I'm so happy, and it's like I'm having my first day in UK.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Nigeria is a very interesting place. Sometimes, like, I try to switch off my radio, but I can't switch off Nigerian Info radio because when you hear some certain things, it makes you feel so sad, and it tries to demoralize you, and you're looking like, where do we go from here? But we still have this sure hope and steadfast that there is light in the tunnel. So no one should kill his or herself. We should hold on. We should fight on. The Lord that has seen us through in the years past.
Here we go with this
will
prayers,
keep us going.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Asuko, I will
Thank
say
you
amen
so
to
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I want to read some messages on WhatsApp, on our Facebook Live, on YouTube Live. Please post your comments on our live stream. I want to hear from you. Go ahead and post your comments. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM 99.3. We're also on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can send a WhatsApp message to 0809597585. I'll start with YouTube. I've seen a lot of messages. Ogbemi here says, but we want to rebuild an airport that was recently worked on in the last administration. Nothing is being done about healthcare, education, and security, but they still want time. So, Ogbemi, let me correct that. There are two wings at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Is the wing 2 that was recently built under the Buhari administration. Some flights go from there. I think Delta now flies from there. I think Kenya Airways and a few other people. I think Qatar Airways, I'm not very sure, guys, don't take my word for it, but Qatar, yes, and Delta flies from the new wing, because I know that I've flown through that new wing with Delta and Qatar. But the old wing has other airlines that fly through there, and you still have to arrive from the old wing. So it's the old wing that they are not just trying to fix, but destroy completely and then rebuild, like the temple in Jerusalem. And it's going to cost 712 billion naira that we don't have. Michael Unadike here says, Nigeria don't enter one chance with this government. Oyetayo Alaba says, Nigeria is not a nation, not a country, it's just an illusion scheme. That's so. Real TV here says, Marianne, like Peter Obi, Nigerians' priority should be security, education, and power supply. Everything will fall in line. We are not asking for much. Okay. The phone numbers, Peniel, is 0201-277-0993 for the men. For the women, 0201-465-7190. Real TV says, repair the airport, another way to embezzle and misplace priority. Just reminds me of Nigeria Air. Someone is saying I did not celebrate the winners of Afrobasket. Yes, I did. If you listened to the end, I did. Otwekong Joel here says, for Festus, Mbok, how many people use these airports compared to the number of hungry citizens and to that of the people that use the airport? I don't know. You need to ask him. And he says the NNPCL is one of the cash cows in Nigeria. Please skip to the next page, he says. Okay. Let me go to Facebook Live. Live. AB Ambo here says, let's see. He says, Festus Keyamo has created a name for himself as Mr. 700 billion naira. That's how he collected almost the same amount in Buhari's regime under the guise of creating temporary jobs for unemployed youth in the 774 local government area of the country. And it is usually in the build-up to general elections. And Edomodu Kelvin here says, tyranny in display, talking about Governor Umar Bago. Let me come to WhatsApp here. This one's from Michael in Sabo. Michael says, hi, Marianne. This airport issue is just a case of misplaced priority. See how eloquent Keyamo is while analyzing that nonsense. For someone that used to be a human rights lawyer, now defending rubbish, all because of his earnings, instead of doing something to provide immediate succor to the people, you are renovating an airport. You remove subsidy on fuel and you are sharing rice. How does this relate? It is well, he says. Ayo here says, our democracy is unique to us. Bago doesn't know his limits by banning Badeggi FM. Our elected officers see themselves as lords. Like the ADC said it is money for election. Keyamo knows this 712 billion naira is not even budgeted for. In a nation of middle class, in a nation that middle class is wiped off, limited number of people can fly. Buhari completed a new terminal started by GEJ. Ayo, thank you. This one's from Obiama in Ogun State. He says, whosoever is Minister of Aviation and Aerospace and others defending this misappropriation and not spending is a grandmother's shame disgrace for what he or she stands for. Okay, wow. You are just giving unhanded comments, aren't you? Madam Florence Madam Florence here says, everything they do is for the benefit of the elites. We can't do anything in our favor or in the favor of poor Nigerians. I have 2 children in the university and one in secondary school, and I'm a widow. I can't buy my medicine anymore, and they want to build an airport with such amount. We're all in for it, according to Chris. Okay, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with all of that. Someone here says, Jerry, listening from Oka. Thank you, Jerry, for listening. He says, upon seeing this report, something stood out for me. Why is the financing of this project under a different structure apart from the budget? Quoting Premium Times here, here's Keyamo. Today was the turn of aviation to receive this kind of attention and the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund. We are grateful that His Excellency the President has focused on aviation for massive infrastructural upgrades across the country. He says he sounds beggarly though. Someone says, Marianne, stop comparing. Relocate. BBC is waiting for you. What is the meaning of that? And please, I was not comparing anything. And I don't want to relocate. Larry, stay in your abroad and leave me alone. Thank you. This one here says, I just saw a post on Twitter, now X, where it said that retired soldiers have gathered in front of the office of the Ministry of Finance protesting about their unpaid gratuities. A country with focused leadership is an airport priority? More than half of the population cannot even buy plane tickets to fly just to any part of the country, let alone going to foreign countries. And we have a government official who are justifying the outrageous spendings. A lot of us aren't normal in this country. This one says, I'm Yusuf. On the issue of renovation of the MMA, with some huge amount of 712 billion, why don't you advise the young minister lawyer that it is compulsory? Is it compulsory? I'm sure you mean, is it compulsory to build and remain in Ikeja that's already congested and not accident free in the case of air mishaps when you have vast land in Ogun nearby? Oh, you even say they should bring you to Ogun. Okay, let me leave you first. Casey from Ojulari here says, this government is just born to waste. They just want to impoverish Nigerians and continue to borrow and borrow. I'm so sorry for Nigeria, in Femi Kuti's voice. Casey from Ojulari, thank you. Ports of entry are the first impression of a country. It is justifiable to upgrade the existing infrastructure in the MMA. That terminal is nothing but a glorified motor park compared to a few African countries comparatively. I've been to a few African countries within and outside Africa. Yeah. Godfrey, please do not get me wrong. I think Jomo Kenyatta is a beautiful airport. Have you been there? The Kenyan airport is massive. It's beautiful. But you see, they prioritize other things. I don't think that the people of Kenya would be hungry while they go to build the Jomo Kenyatta airport. Understand that. And I also don't think, I've been to Rwanda. Their airport is nothing special. But you see, the livelihood of the people is the priority of their president. Why is our own different? Anyway, I've got 3 minutes on the clock. I want to take a few more calls. This one says, Festus is right to use subsidy money to make the airport a hub to compete with other international hubs, while the poor masses' stomachs hub are starving of hunger, and healthcare services are in comatose. High prices of drugs, etc. Dominic, I can smell the sarcasm from here. And this one says, airport that is meant only for the rich. Mr. Keyamo, please face. You need to face a face job as hardship. Don't contour my face. I don't understand. Kingsley, I don't understand your message. Okay. Larry here says, can Keyamo listen to himself saying IATA are happy with our improved liquidity when Nigerians are not able to afford 2 square meal in a day? What a misplaced priority. God is watching all these people governing us. He is indeed watching. But what are you going to do? Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Nelson here. I want to comment on the cost of renovating the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually know that we don't really have an international airport in Nigeria?
I don't think that's not common knowledge. We all know that the state of the airport is not great. Yes.
Yes. So if that cost will make us to at least get something closer to an international airport.
At the expense of what else? At the expense of what?
There has already been.
At the expense of what?
Expense, yes.
Is that what we need? No. But is that what we need right now? Because you're speaking English to me.
We need almost everything. We need almost everything.
What do we need right now? Most importantly, is it a renovated airport?
We need to at least get to par.
Okay, maybe
we just have to.
That's
we just have to, because
the
money is available. They won't even share it to Nigerians.
Well, whatever earnings that airport has, does it come to your pocket?
It goes to the government pocket, and they use it for other activities.
Thank you very much for answering my question. Lovely. One last question, and I have to go on a break. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Marianne.
Yes.
My name is Deborah from Whiteside.
Go ahead. 60 seconds, please.
Oh, okay. So I'm wondering, why don't they direct the funds to what will benefit majority of Nigerians? Not all Nigerians go through the airport. I don't hear the Minister of Health speaking anything. The health system is so bad in Nigeria. The infrastructure is so porous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deborah, for calling. Lagos, I've got to go on a break. And when we come back on the other side of the clock, we will be on checkpoint. Let's find out what Governor Sanwo-Olu is doing about the situation. We had flash floods today in Lagos. That rain that fell from morning till so imagine if you had 4 straight days of rain. Venice. Anyway, let's talk about those gutters. Let's talk about things that we need to do before the rains come that have been left undone. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Marianne Okon. See you on the other side of the clock.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Whether it's jollof or na stew, even for porridge or spaghetti, cook to impress with Pepper Terra.
I am malaria, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple: to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stays in my way. Come on.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on. Malaria gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
So when you're cooking your delicious meals, don't compromise. Go for gold.
rich, consistent taste for cooking mouth-watering soups, stews, and jollof. Choose wisely. Choose Gold. Terra Gold Seasoning Cube.
1 cube. Endless possibilities. Terra Gold.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
Good tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Good food, no worries.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The biggest conversations are happening on Hard Facts.
If Modo Pueblo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled.
Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaped
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.